Dead leaves twist every here and there with the brief gasps of breath that this place can still muster. Each breath is acidic in taste and bitter in feel. The sun hides behind a gray rooftop that smothers a city on life support. A city with forgotten memorials and withering monuments, quarantined playgrounds and incinerated suburbs, homes beneath bridges and bars packed with the only forms of life still alive and awake in this hole in the earth, the bacteria. Only a few thousand remain in a city meant for millions. The smarter ones moved on while they could. Others, well, they were either too stubborn or too dead to make the move. In my brief time here, I've walked upon the same concrete as countless people before me. The people who survived now walk by the windows of the shops, smashed in like skulls, and the walls covered in riddles written in braille by bullets of various calibers. Dead leaves twist every here and there within the desolated city of San Antonio. Along the Riverwalk, I sit in one of those petri dish bars, only feet away from those whose death will likely come at the hands of one another before the radiation or hunger get to them. Then again, perhaps it's those very things that'll drive them to it. You know, when I took this gig, I never once thought that I might be photographing folks and their dead bodies in the streets. It's because of this that I hardly question why it is I feel the way I do about the world, because it's not like it's rocket science. I mean, it's really just cause and effect psychology. I was born mad in an already schizophrenic world, and with each passing day, I blend in a little bit more. And while I would love to turn my life around, I seem to be doing donuts in a shitty car in a parking lot full of potholes and landmines.
When you took this gig, God, listen to yourself. You make yourself out to be such a victim. If I were you, which technically I am, I'd embrace the hell out of this life. You get to travel, meet interesting people, do crazy shit. Shit that people will kill for. But I get it. I get that it can get to you after a while. Why do you think I've been drinking for 2? You think you're the only one seeing shit nowadays? You ain't the only one driving either. But we all crash sometimes, and the burning comes easier when you're already wet.
Well, you're wet enough as it is, and we need to go. Let's just leave a tip and get out of here.
Let me ask you something, Timothy. You believe in God, right? Well, why does God allow this shit to happen? I mean, obviously no one is a unique little snowflake, so that means that the low-life junkie that we only saw half of over off South Flores was no different than whoever those burnt little light-up shoes outside that daycare belonged to, right?
Donovan, I said you had enough. We're leaving.
I'm not the only one who's had enough.
Prove anything or solve anything. We kicked their asses. Or so we thought, and now they're back.
We're already at war, you stupid son of a bitch. And we all know who it is. It's these fucking Mexicans trying to get revenge after we booted their sorry asses back over that fence. We burned their whole fucking operation to the ground, and now it's our turn? I don't think so, damn it.
Jeff, come on, man. Let's get you home. This ain't like you, and you know it.
Oh, look at that. Another drunk Texan with a gun. Maybe he and I can be friends.
Don't even think about it. We're sitting right here until this blows over.
I ain't got a home anymore. We ain't got a fucking home anymore. You didn't have to hear your little girl scream on the other end of the phone as she got burnt alive. You didn't lose everything, did you? And you bring me here to some shitty little bar run by some asshole who could be working with them? Fuck you, man.
Interesting that he hasn't laid eyes on the barkeep this whole time. Poor old Marco. Do you think he recognized us?
I don't know, and frankly, I don't care because I don't see his hands. They're reaching for that Remington next to the tap. He won't be quick enough. God knows if that thing even still works.
He's betting on the booze. The guy's had enough to kill a horse. It's a wonder that he didn't drop that gun and blow his own fucking head off. Would have been funny as hell to watch. Let me know when you're done pondering.
Jeff, we're all friends here. Just put the gun away and let's head out. We'll go to the refugee camp. I'm sure they've got some good, hot food just waiting for us. Maybe a blanket and a cot if there's still room.
I want my family. I want my wife. I want my little girl, damn it.
Todd, no! Jeff, why? No, Marco, don't!
You in the corner. Don't pretend like you ain't been here the whole time, watching over there in the dark. I saw you walk in here an hour ago, and I know no one's left here since.
I'm pretty sure he means us. I'm gonna go ahead and get the gun ready.
You aren't going to do a damn thing.
And what exactly are you gonna do? Silent treat him until the 3 bottles of Jack tell him that we're a figment of his imagination? Give me a fucking break, Tim.
Just let me try to handle this.
Technically, you've been drinking too. Keep in mind that you and 3 bottles Jeff over there are about to drunkenly negotiate when you could just let me shoot the fucker and we could maybe get Marco out of here too.
I don't want you touching that gun unless I say so.
We might both be dead by the time you get around to that.
Yeah, I'm here. Y'all's business ain't my own.
You're a witness. I gotta get rid of you.
And as a witness, who exactly am I supposed to report to here? And what's left of San Antone? While I don't approve of you murdering your friend and possibly Marco over there, this could have been done by anyone. Even if there were still some poor asshole with a badge and a gun, do you honestly think they would do anything? Do you think that you're the only murderer I've bumped into in my time here? What is that?
You know I can't let you leave. How do I know you ain't been using that camera to film all that? You might be with one of them big-time stations that came to make a 15 minutes worth of quick cash off our sorry asses.
Come on, Tim. Let me kill this guy. He's just some asshole who's gonna kill again as soon as he sees fit.
No.
What was that? Why'd you turn your head like that? You got an earpiece or something? Are you some kind of pig?
Listen, I just want to be left alone. No one will ever know about this. I don't care about any of it.
Smooth.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Are you saying my family wasn't worth a damn? Who the hell do you think you are, you little shit?
Grace and gratefulness can come later, Timmy.
No, Donovan.
You know, Jeff, if you cleaned your gun on a regular basis, then shit like this wouldn't happen. And I might have been winged by that round. But this 40 here? Ooh, this was something passed down to me by a friend after I proved how useful I was with it.
Oh, your voice. Why did your voice change?
Oh, it's probably just the drunken rage kicking in. Like most people, I don't like being threatened. Or it could be that the guy you were talking to a minute ago is currently busy dealing with something else, and that just leaves you and me. He's a nice guy, but sometimes I just have to step in. And unfortunately for you, I'm not really a nice guy when it comes to worthless pricks like yourself. No, I'm more of a stare at the life in your eyes until it goes out kind of guy.
Damn it, Donovan, that's enough. We talked about this.
What? What the hell is going on? You're crazy.
You're drunk. Now sit back and shut up. What do you want, Tim?
I want you to let him go.
Wait, what? Why are we panning like we just ran a fucking marathon? What the hell do you mean, let him go?
Marco, are you okay over there? Can you walk?
Yeah, Tim. I think I'm good, but I need to get patched up. Yo, who are you talking to?
Oh, neat. He totally remembers us. That's awesome. We've only been here like, what, 4 times over the years?
Marco, I don't know what you mean, but do you have a bag? One big enough to carry all of your top shelf stuff?
Oh, that son of a bitch. Look what he did to my bar.
Yeah, I know, Marco. Do you have anything that this son of a bitch can use to carry all of your best stuff? He's going to carry it, and the two of you are going to get to that camp. It's only a few blocks west of here. Once you get there, whatever happens next is up to you. You can sell the booze, and that'll give you a little something to get you out of town once you get patched up. You, Jeff, are going to promise me one thing. You sober up and do right by your wife and your little girl. I didn't know them, but I'm willing to bet that they're pretty damn disappointed in you right now. But the way I see it, you have two options. Option A, you keep this promise to me, and you make an effort to pick yourself back up. Option B, you go out, and you get a gun that can fire at least one round. Understand, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
I'm not sticking around to babysit. Marco's got the only gun that works, and that fool is too drunk to think outside the box and just run away. He'll help Marco. I'm done here.
What the fuck happened back there?
Well, that's funny. I was just about to ask you the same thing, asshole.
I was solving the issue that you were apparently too busy to take care of. Seriously, though, what happened? You're normally sharper than that.
Had you not brought us here in the first place, none of that would have happened.
And we wouldn't have been able to save Marco.
That's not the point. I told you not to reach for that fucking gun.
I had to do something. What the hell is that? Did we put a kid in the trunk?
That. Did you not hear that in the bar?
No, I was a little busy saving Marco.
But you hear it now, though. Maybe we need to call Malachi.
Yeah, probably.
Samaritan Services, this is Dr. Malachi Roman.
Hey, Mal, it's Tim.
Oh, Tim, calling again so soon?
Yeah, we need to talk.
We're both hearing voices.
Donovan? That's nothing new.
We're serious.
I see. Are you anywhere near Lubbock?
I don't know. How close do you consider San Antonio? Oh shit, is that Simon?
Pardon?
Sorry, yeah, I gotta head through Dallas first, but I'll head your way as soon as I'm done there.
Sounds good.
Timothy, how are things in San Antonio?
Yeah, it's all fucked down here.
Don. No, let him speak. I need to talk to him.
He's giving his version of what my report is gonna be. I'll give you the full version in a few hours when I arrive.
Sounds like Donovan's been tipping the bottle for you. Sober up before you get behind the wheel.
A little late for that, but
We'll be there soon.
We'll see you if you get here.
I make my way to a city untouched by the violence that's been creeping over the nation. Donovan remains anything but silent, and instead constantly complains about every little thing. The only thing we've agreed on in these last few months has been that these attacks are nothing ordinary. What do you suppose we should tell Simon? I mean, we didn't find anything new. We just found the same markings as before, the same pointers pushing us in no useful direction.
you mean what are you gonna tell Simon? Just because I like him doesn't mean I like talking to him.
I don't care, Don. What am I gonna tell him?
Oh, ask him if he ever played Fallout 6.
Fallout? Really? The man is in his 60s. He probably played the first games, but I need a serious answer for him.
Well, in that case, just tell him that the city looks like it has cancer.
I don't even know why I bother with shit like this with you.
I'm just saying that there's really not much of a difference from Jacksonville or LA.
On that, we have to agree. Anyone home? Simon?
Tim. Simon's out at the moment. Business as usual. So, how'd it go in San Antonio?
Well, there's no Alamo left to remember, I'll put it that way.
Damn it. I didn't think it could get any worse than when the cartels gained control there. When I was stationed at JVSA, we always had to deal with their shit. Hearing all that just makes me wish we were still fighting those assholes.
As much as I agree, or want to agree at least, I don't know. I don't think they're the ones behind this. Something feels off about all of this. But feel free to stick around when I get the details to Simon. I don't know how much he's told you.
I would, but I've been dispatched to Arizona. There's some weirdo out there playing Jack the Ripper.
Interesting. There's always wannabes in the world, huh? Good luck.
I guess he still doesn't know about me, huh?
No, I don't think it's for the best that we keep it that way.
Fair enough. Let's raid the pantry.
It's a damn shame the Bluebell's actually gone for good.
Don't remind me. Yay, Daddy's home.
We're stretched thin enough as it is. I'm sorry, but you're on your own here.
So, are we actually stretched thin, or was that just someone you don't like?
That was Minister Vince from the Chateau. They're short-handed in Philadelphia. But so are we.
So is that what he's calling himself now? I mean, even Donovan thinks he's better off in the circus. As for us, it's these damn attacks that are wearing us thinner by the day, Simon. I mean, we lost Harry, Leo, Krista. Not that anyone really misses Krista, but...
Yeah, none of us were fans. So what do you have for me?
Well, there's not much to be called new, but that's part of what makes it evidence, I suppose. I mean, there's an MO here. Once again, I saw no evidence of C4, no chemical burns, nothing like that. No man-made explosives, no homemade, no professional, nothing like that. Yet there was still plenty of radiation, according to these reports I got from the Homeland Security's data. It's the same as Jacksonville, LA, Portland, and DC. Scorched earth and the silhouettes of people burnt into walls and streets. These look like dirty bombs, but no one's found anything to prove it.
And no one's claimed responsibility?
No one. Which makes us different from anything we've ever seen in the past. I mean, with other extremists or just your run-of-the-mill nutbags. People behind these attacks always have some kind of agenda to push or some message to send, and no one's claiming a stake in this.
I agree, and I'm going to look into this some more and see if I can find out what's going on. I don't want to jump to conclusions, though. Getting tunnel vision on something like this can allow you to distort facts and start creating your own narrative. So give me a few days and I will get back to you.
That sounds good to me. I'm going to be back in Lubbock in the meantime. I got to go see the Roman.
Malachi, huh? Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I just got to sort a few things out. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, you know I'm here if you need anything. You don't have to keep me in the dark.
I know. I know, but everything is fine. I promise.
All right. Well, safe travels, and I'll be in touch.
After a few hours, Dallas is in my rearview mirror, shrinking at about 75 miles an hour. On our way back to Lubbock, I can't shake the feeling that something is horribly wrong. It's like a feral monkey gnawing at my brain. Of course, then there's Donovan, clawing away at my patience.
Why?
Why what, Donovan? Get to the point. You know I hate it when you do that.
Every single time we go and see Simon, you lie. Why do you keep him in the dark?
Because we both know that my lying slows him down a little bit and that he always figures things out whether I want him to or not. My lying buys me a little time to sort things out on my own. I don't like it any more than you do, but I have my reasons.
But when is enough enough? You can't push people away from us like that, especially when there are people who have done so much for us. Where would we be if it weren't for Simon?
Likely feral and rabid under various bridges. Do you think I don't realize that?
I think you do realize it, but sometimes you need a swift kick in the ass to get the message.
So what, you're going to be the one to do it?
Would you have it be from anybody else? It's better for me than for Malachi or Simon. It has to stop.
I know that Don is right, but these lies are something of a control factor that I've yet to find the will to give up. Either way, Donovan's guilt trip doesn't really strike any new nerves, because it's the Roman I'm worried about. He always knows. There's no being one step ahead of him. When we arrive in Lubbock, it's quiet. I don't hear the oversized trucks and blaring parties, and off in the distance I can hear the faint music of a modern America. Sirens. They used to not faze me, but now I feel something scraping against the walls when my ears pick up those sounds. But it isn't the only anomaly leaving marks where I'm already a deluxe pack of damaged goods. Of the 3 people already crammed into my cranium, I'm the only one praying that Malachi has answers like usual. I'm the only one praying at all. I can already tell this appointment will be quick. As I enter the Samaritan's clinic, it's a Black Friday madhouse for all the clientele. Jillian sees me from behind the front desk, and with a smile that would get her a million roles in the commercial industry, she motions for me to head on back to his office. My feet don't miss a beat, and before I know it, I'm already waiting in the most comfortable chair we've touched in weeks. Maybe I can catch a few minutes of sleep before the Roman shows up.
You know, Tim, honesty is a feat of entertainment that few seem to appreciate in this world. It's both a virtue and a tool. You build or destroy depending on how you use it. It may all seem a convoluted process, but after years of practicing amid every encounter I've had with the countless people I see and meet every day, it's a delectable cakewalk. Now, of course, I understand human nature can cause certain people of normally great character to place honor aside for some sake. Each of us has our reasons for twisting the truth, or even just avoiding it. What were yours, Tim?
Simon, you son of a bitch. Look, Mel, I'm sorry, okay? It's just... It makes me feel like I still have some kind of control.
But you just said it yourself. It's an illusion. You're only cheating yourself here, Tim. You only have so much control, and eventually it'll come back and bite you in some form or another. Don't you think the others might try and take advantage of that somehow? Donovan is already going to lie whenever he wants, and I don't think you're keen on imagining what the other guy might try to do when you lose track of what's truth and what's not. The other beauty of honesty is you only end up having one story to tell. There's no having to adapt, and you've already had to do plenty of that with this disorder. You shouldn't make things harder for yourself.
Nothing's going to stop No Name from doing what he wants to do, but as far as I know, he hasn't taken control of me for a while. But that only contributes to my suspicion of that bastard. So I'll consider it.
You'll consider it? All right then, let's consider what only you and I know for now. Let's consider this crying child that you and the other voice in your head heard, shall we? If you heard it before Donovan, then I would imagine that he was busy. Him being busy often implies some kind of excitement, which for this could mean that you were triggered by something.
It was while I was in San Antonio in a bar. There was a scuffle with this guy. He was drunk.
He was an asshole.
Ah, hello, Donovan.
Sorry. Anyway, things escalated with this guy and I got violent. It was during this time that I first heard it.
No, it was after we left.
Well, had you not been so busy being a violent prick, then you would have heard it.
Once again, I was busy solving the problem you seemed to be okay with.
The problem is that you lack self-control. Every time we get into this.
There it is again.
The child? Right now? Tim, stay with me, Tim.
Sorry, yeah, I'm hearing it now. What do you think?
I think that it isn't a good sign, Tim. I can't say for sure what it is right now, but I want you and Donovan to take a few days off. Just avoid your work right now, and don't go out of town either. Going into the field could be risky right now.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Why should we keep it suppressed? I mean, shouldn't we bring it out, shine some light on it, smoke the little bastard out? It's pointless to keep it hidden if it's going to come out eventually. We're tourists. Stress is our job.
Eventually we will. I just want you both to take a few days to brace yourselves and plan this out. If this is a new kid on the block, then that means preparing room and management. There's already 3 of you in there, and a 4th is going to make things interesting. We're playing with fire here, so it is best to be cautious.
Fair enough. What happens if we can't control it? Or better yet, what happens if No Name is involved?
If Mr. Hyde is involved, then contact me as soon as you think that's the case. Both of you. I imagine something will trigger this again, and that something is likely going to be the 2 of you bickering as always. As soon as that crying gets to a volume you both can't hear each other over, call me.
I'll keep my phone handy. A few hours pass, and I'm in the place I call home only because I pay rent. Simon says it's good for me to have responsibilities like normal people, and that somehow it helps keep me grounded. But there's hardly such a thing as normal anymore, it seems. Because as I stand here in front of this collection of corkboards and dry erase boards in my living room, I hardly even see the colored yarn pinned from one picture to the next newspaper clipping back to the map of the country. Another voice, I keep thinking to myself. Another me trying to claw its way out of some dark corner of my mind. This head is getting far too crowded. Donovan and I need to focus on this investigation, but I can't get my mind off this other voice. I mean, Donovan seems fully engulfed into this investigation, into the boards, and why can't I be? After all, how is focusing on this new voice helping me anyway? I mean, Malachi said that management and room prep are essential, but trigger pull is going to come regardless.
Tim, you with me?
Not really.
You know, I look at the photos of shadows burnt into brick walls. I look at photos of streets littered with the remains of those who walked them. I look at these terrible things, and I recall a few years back before you and I were on more peaceful terms. Remember when I had those 50-gallon drums filled up with homemade napalm? That was the last time Simon sent us after the Zetas.
Yeah, we were supposed to send a message to them, but it's hard to interpret that message when it's really nothing more than a crater somewhere in the middle of Mexico.
No bodies, no evidence, just a lot of pissed off sicarios. But nowadays I give up we can't do that unless Simon demands scorched earth. Since the border war, we've had a few years without having the scenarios that called for anything like that, despite the government playing around in its own shit and the economy shaking from starvation. The worst that the tourists have been called on for was the territory skirmish between the Aryans and the Marchers up in Wyoming a year back.
Don, some of those poor bastards were children.
Exactly. There's no holdback with the asshole behind this.
Don, we're not getting anywhere like this right now. Let's just take a few days off like Malachi suggested, yeah? Get some rest. I'm sure something will come up.
Yeah, the next attack will come up and 1 million more people will die. That screaming kid is probably just an echo. We hear it because we ain't out there figuring all this shit out. No, instead, we're in here waiting for Timmy number 4 to come crawling out of the woodworks.
Look, Donovan, we're already risking a lot just going out into the world doing what we do. 1 minute I'm me, the next minute I'm you, and then there's that other asshole, No Name. If this is a new personality, I want to catch it and keep it under control. This is the first time I've ever received any kind of warning signs from the actual disorder. If I can't suppress it, then at least I can start out on good terms instead of taking years to find common ground like you. The more control I have, the better tourist I am. The better tourists we are. We share a body, Donovan. You, me, No Name, whatever this is. We share a body that has an immense amount of responsibility, and there must be some amount of order, of control, of peace.
I'm slightly offended, but you make a good point. Grab that notepad. We can keep tabs on symptoms or whatever.
Good idea. We can start with a time and a place, and then whatever was happening when we heard the kid. Let me grab a pen here. All right, so about what time were we in the bar yesterday?
I remember you looking down at your watch and it said 2 o'clock. We stayed and drank for about an hour before that asshole tried to kill us.
Good point. I'll write that down. Now,
Timmy.
He seems to start crying whenever you and I fight.
Timbo.
But so far he hasn't actually said anything.
Tim.
What is it?
Unless you're fucking with me on that notepad, I think he might be trying to say something now.
What the hell are you on about? I know what I wrote. Oh my God. This handwriting.
Looks like he just started learning how to write.
It says, "Can you hear me, Mr. Amos?" Donovan, do you hear it?
Yeah, it's him.
Mr. Amos, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Where am I?
That's what's called a loaded question, for us anyway.
Donovan, I don't know what to say.
Just chill then. He seems friendly enough.
Mr. Amos, please.
Mr. Amos's name is Timothy. You can call him Timmy, Tim, Timbo, Timothy, or Amos. Whatever floats your boat, or whatever the fuck you wrote in on. So, what about you, buddy? What's your name?
I have no name.
What?
Well, we can't have another one of us running around like that, can we? To sum things up, kiddo, you're going to be with us for life, whether you like it or not. So it's best we give you a name here and now. How does the name Ethan sit with you?
I like that name. I will like it for a long time.
Hell yeah, man.
Donovan. He had